Welcome to Module 3 of the Mentoring Skills Program organized by the Association Découvrir and myself, Dominique Dhaou of Point North International. I'm very happy to welcome you in that module. We're going to speak today about your toolbox to be an even more efficient mentor in this Module 3. Just a quick recap on where we stand in the training program. We saw in Module 1, after a short introduction, what are the mentoring styles, what is mentoring versus coaching, and so on, and what are the responsibilities and the benefits of mentoring activity. In Module 2, we spoke about mentoring skills and what are the behaviors that we expect from a good mentor. In Module 3, we are going to dig deeper in the toolbox that is available to you and that I'm happy to share with you in that training so that you can become an even more efficient and effective mentor. And Module 3 will be very pragmatic in terms of the association program and what are the activities months by months. On the same platform where you're listening and downloaded this presentation and this video, you'll find resources, templates, tools, examples, testimonials. All has been built together to help you thrive during this mentoring program with your mentee of the association. So, what are we speaking about when we talk about the toolbox? There are a number of tools that are very simple, very pragmatic, yet very useful in a mentoring program. So the first one is feed forward. You all have heard about feedback. We are going to speak about what is feed forward and when to use it and for what purpose. The second tool is check-ins, checkouts. Here we're not speaking about the airport check-in or at the hotel. We're speaking about what is mentoring check-ins and checkouts, very straightforward. Stop, start, continue. I'm sure many of you have seen that tool before. So how to use it in a mentoring setup, that's what we're going to look at together. The fourth tool is networking, not only playing a networker role, but how you can help your mentee be a more efficient networker. These are 4 tools, and that's not it. The fifth one is about how you can build useful content and store it, collect information so that it's more useful to your mentee and it complements your own experience and examples. The sixth tool is reflective summary. The seventh is about notes taking, super important. And the last but not least, yes, it happens in mentoring as well, where digital and artificial intelligence comes in. And it's your role as a mentor to master this tool as well. So we'll dig one by one on each of them and put a light on it. We'll start with the first one, feed forward. When is it useful to use feed forward is when your mentee is going through either a difficult or painful feedback on something that she has demonstrated, a behavior that she needs to change, or something that didn't go the way she had anticipated, or you both had anticipated, or facing an obstacle or living through a failure. So the idea of feed forward is to help your mentee brainstorm and think based on her recent experience what she would do differently so that next time when she gets to a similar situation, she's wiser, more educated, more prepared. So it's your role as a mentor to help her, not moaning and regretting with guilt what she has not done well or what others should have done and haven't, but it's to say, based on what you just experienced, what can you tangibly do? What are the behaviors, the actions that you can take so that next time it works better, and to have that as a plan. So as you can think, this is part of the architect and the guardian profiles. Feed forward is very efficient to help her visualize positively but pragmatically how it can work next time and what action she can take. Check-ins and checkouts. Check-ins are very useful at the beginning of the session, as checkout is useful at the end of the session. And it's beyond so how do you feel today? How are things? What's going on? And so on at the beginning is to make sure that your mentee is fully present, engaged in the discussion, and that you can help her reflect and vocalize what she is going through. So I've put here some questions that you can ask your mentee, either as check-ins or as checkouts. Like, what is the one thing that you would like to achieve in today's session? That's a typical check-in question, very important to ask at the beginning of the session. Or what is the top priority you want us to work on today? Or what have you learned today? Or what is the main thing that you go away with from today's session? Typical checkouts question. So it really allows her to vocalize, to be fully engaged, present, and to realize what she's gone through in terms of the session, but also what she plans for the next time or where she is in the present. It really activates the guardian, the therapist, and the architect styles that we've seen in module 1. Very simple, yet very powerful tool. Stop, start, continue. I'm sure many of you have seen that in the past, is to help your mentee reflect, clarify, structure, prioritize what she can do and what is the impact of that. So it can be used in the middle of the session when the mentee has an aha moment and you say, oh, now I know what I should start doing. So it's the time to reflect. And so what will you do? How will you do it? What could be obstacles that come in the way and the new things that you want to achieve, is to really structure her reflection so that she can identify what she should stop doing because it doesn't help her or doesn't serve any purpose. So thinking about the impact is important, and sharing that with helping your mentee realize that. The next one, the fourth one, is about networking. Today, networking is not only an essential, but is a critical tool and skill to master to get a job, to get clients, to get investors, to get a candidate, to get information, to get skills, trends, industry trends. Networking is a super powerful tool. So that is for you to help your mentee with, either by sharing your network, by explaining how she should and could networking skills. And by the way, if you have any question on that, let me know. I will be most happy to help you so that you and she becomes a better networker. It's also showing your generosity by sharing your network and how she can build her own network. So networking is a very important part of your toolbox. It allows you also to nurture and maintain your own network, because there might be people in your network that you haven't been in touch for quite some time. And by sharing their names with your mentees and informing them about it, it's a way to nurture your own network. So it doesn't only serve your mentee's purpose, but also yours. Now, the next one is about content building, or what I call themes library. It's to help your mentee when she, for instance, and look at working in another industry of the one that she had been working so far, or investigating new skills or new roles or new responsibilities. It's to help her evolve, learn, and it's a great way for you to share information that doesn't only come from your own experience and skills, but explore other resources that exist to enrich her learning and her development. And think that your mentee coming from another culture or another environment, another country, will be thankful for anything that you can share with her that is making sense versus the conversation or the session you had today. If you spoke about a specific theme and topic, and you've seen a book, an article, a video, you've heard a podcast, or you've seen a social media that is interesting to her that refer to that same theme, it's so powerful. It really moves your mentoring to the next level when you're able to quickly find that information because you've stored it somewhere. I've put here some example of what I mean by content. Can be books, can be articles, can be interviews, TED Talks, whatever. And the key here is to be able to store it as you go through your weeks, months, years, in a way that you can search easily. I personally use a lot Evernote. I know many people use OneNote. It could be an Excel spreadsheet. It could be a Word document. It can be a notebook. But think about the number of things that information, article, books, videos, podcasts, and so on that you see every day or every week. Store it in a way that you can easily find it, that is categorized, that will make your transfer of skills, experience, and knowledge much more powerful. Now, I've put here some example of themes. When I talk about themes, library can be soft skills, it can be industry related, it could be about a country like Switzerland, a video that you've seen or a book that you've read. It could be about skills like how do I influence, how do I manage emotions. You don't have to be an expert yourself on everything, but there are massive information and good examples that you can find in social media, on YouTube or elsewhere, or in the library or in the bookstore, where you can take that not only for you, but also for your various mentees that you will have in the coming months and years ahead. Reflective summary is obviously to help your mentee capture what has been useful to her during the session by taking the time to reflect and to make a clear link between her reflection, the impact it has on her, her development, and how she's going to use what she's learned. So to help her, to give her space and structure and asking her the right questions so that she can structure her thought, her reflection, will be very powerful so that she can make a link between what she's heard or what she's grasped from your sharing into actionable and tangible actions that she can take and get the impact. So it can be done at any time during the session or at the end of a discussion, or when she shares with you that this was very useful, is to really not stop here and ask her the question so that she can use her reflection in her learning. Note-taking. Note-taking is a useful tool both for you as a mentor and for your mentee. It's about taking notes about what's going on in the session today, during the session itself, or at the end if you don't want to take notes as she talks to you or you talk to her. But at the end of the session, don't wait too long and put down on paper or in your computer what you've discussed during the session, what you have agreed at the end of the session, any comments or things that she has shared with you that you need to remember, any context. Make sure you keep track of the sessions because she might forget. And you want to make sure that you look professional at the next session when you say, okay, remember last time we did this, we talked about that, we said we would do this today. Is that still okay with you? By being on top of your sessions, you show that you do care, that you take it seriously, and that's easier when you take notes. But notes taking is also about helping your mentee make sure that she takes note during or after the session, so that she puts on paper something that she will easily and quickly forget if she doesn't. So don't be shy and take a more firm or directive approach and say, you know what you just said here, that is very important, you said, put it down on a piece of paper or enter it in your computer because you are going to forget about it. And I want to make sure that you go away with it without losing it with time. So it's both valid for you and for your mentee. The way you take your note can be computer or by hand. Writing down can be with symbols, smileys, mind mapping, abbreviations, whatever is your style. It doesn't matter, but make sure you get it somewhere stored so it doesn't go away. And keep it to the essential. You don't have to write down word by word what she said, but the main point, it will also help your conciseness to improve. Now, this is a video as a transition to something that is getting more and more important in all activities, including mentoring, and I'm speaking about digital. That video is, maybe you've seen it already, is a bit humoristic, but it's not so far away from what we live today or what we can live in the future. So it's just for you. I've put here the link in the presentation and underneath so that you can find it, whatever version you're watching. Now, when we speak about digital and artificial intelligence, today, this is a tool that one cannot ignore to be an efficient mentor. And it can be how to use Zoom or Teams, how to make a summary out of Zoom, how to record a session, how to organize your Teams or Visio folders, is how to use ChatGPT or other tools, and as well to help and encourage your mentee to do so or learn from her. You never know. She might know more than you do, but it's a tool that you cannot ignore today. And as a tool, either you master it or you lose it. And I would strongly recommend that you learn how to master it, because that ain't going away. And a tool well used and well mastered can be very, very efficient. So whether it's to do some research or how to take notes, there are apps that take note for you so you don't have to write it down. Use it. They're quite good. They're much better. Or if it's translation, or if it's recording or make research on a specific topic that your mentee asks you about, or for your own knowledge development. And it's also a shift in your mindset, because to go away from I'm not going to use it, or I'm not convinced it's useful, I would suggest that you get support if need be, or that you help your mentee and other mentors in using AI efficiently. I've just put on that slide some examples of prompts that you could use in ChatGPT or another AI tool to accelerate or to get answers or an inspiration on things that you can tangibly use during a mentoring activity. And of course, if you have other prompts, I'm very curious. Please share if you have, if you're using other prompts with ChatGPT in your mentoring activity. That can be useful to other mentors. So please do share if you're a pro in ChatGPT. I would love to see your prompts. So feel free to ask. And if you want more of that, do contact us, either the association or myself, and we'll help you out. So in that module 3, What we've done is we've discovered that there are 8 tools, and there might be others. Please share if you are willing to. But these 8 tools are the fundamentals in your toolbox so that you can be an even more efficient mentor and inspiring mentor. So I've listed here the 8 tools that we've looked at during that module. So feel free to look again at the recording of the session or the slides. They're all there on the platform for you. And as I mentioned in the past module, feel free to contact either the association or myself for questions, feedback, doubts, experience sharing. We are here for you. I really wish you much joy and fulfillment in your mentoring activity, whether it's with your future mentees or your current mentees. I wish you the best and hope that you do have a successful and positive experience. Take care of yourself. Bye.